This is part of the group that I mountain bike with, and we are great friends who ride together a lot, and we have fun on the trails and off the trails. I'm the guy in the group who's known for getting into trouble a lot. That means I fall a lot. In fact, they call me Crash. One time, I was riding along a trail, and I hit a rock or something, and it threw me down into this ditch. And I got down in this ditch, and I wasn't sure what to do because the sides were real wet, and it was hard to get out. And I was really glad that my friend Dave was there. He came back and he pulled me up out of that ditch. He took a look at me, made sure I was okay, made sure my bike was okay, and then we got back on our bikes and took off. There's this great Bible passage in Ecclesiastes 4 that says, when one person falls, the other can reach out and help. But people who are alone when they fall are in real trouble. Of course, that passage isn't about mountain biking. It's about the real life kinds of situations that we all find ourselves in sometimes. Whether you've just gotten into a fight with your spouse and you're just not sure how that's going to end up, or you're dealing with problems with your kids, or you get sick, or somebody very close to you passes away. Whatever the situation is in your life, it doesn't really matter how popular you are, or how much money you make, or even how many Facebook friends you have. What really matters at times like that is how many face-to-face friends you have. The kind of friends who will be there for you and listen to you when you just need somebody to listen, who will ask you the tough questions that you just need somebody to ask, and who will be there for you and just pull you up when you just need somebody to pull you up. We all need friends like that. At least I know I do. My name's Mike Mack, and I'm the Life Groups Minister here. And I own this value. Smaller groups are valuable for producing life change. My family and I have been at Northeast for almost 10 years, and we love this church. We love the children's ministry that our kids have grown up in, and we love the weekend services. But just look around you for a second. This is a big church, and that makes it difficult to make close friends in this particular environment. And that's why we do life groups at Northeast Christian Church. They help make a big church a lot smaller, and they help move you from rows of acquaintances to circles of real friends. So you may be wondering, what's a life group? Is that like a life sentence? Well, life groups are groups of men or women, couples or singles, or co-ed groups of about 8 to 12 people or so who meet weekly or every other week with the main purpose of growing together in their relationships with God. Come to think of it, for something that's labeled small, that's pretty big. Because the reality is, some of you are stuck in a ditch in your spiritual lives. You're a small group of one. You're trying to do this Christian life on your own. You've got nobody to encourage you or hold you accountable or to just reach down and pull you out of a ditch. And that's why at the very beginning of the Bible, in the 2nd chapter of the book of Genesis, God says, that's not good. It's not good for the man to be alone, is what he actually says. See, we all are created to bond together with one another and to do life with one another. And it's when we do that we can grow in our spiritual lives the best. And we can be so much better and so much stronger together than any of us can be alone. I learn a lot by observing the way Jesus lived his life. And as I've read through the Gospels, I've noticed a definite pattern for Jesus' life. One of the places I've noticed it the most is in Luke chapter 6. Verse 12 says, one of those days, Jesus went out to a mountainside to pray, and he spent the night praying to God. And that's the first thing you always see Jesus doing. He would draw away from the crowds and draw away from all the other priorities of his life to spend time with his Heavenly Father. That was a vital value for Jesus. But that's not the only thing that Jesus did. Verse 13 goes on to say, when morning came, he called his disciples to him, and he chose 12 of them. You see, this was Jesus' small group. These were the guys that he chose to hang out together with and to do life with. And this might sound a little surprising, but Jesus needed those guys, and they needed him. Now, I know for me at least, that if Jesus needed to be in a small group, then so do I, and by the way, so do you. So, when you're stuck in a ditch and you don't know how to get out, who do you have in your life who will reach down and pull you up and help you get back on the trail?